Okay, guys, it's time for a review of the 2015-2016 waterfowl season here in Kentucky. I hunt in central Kentucky mainly. It was a really slow year for us this year. We did okay, I guess you would say, for the area we hunt in. I mean, obviously this is not Stuttgart here, you know. I killed 42 ducks and 7 geese. One of the ducks was banded. I killed it on a little creek here in central Kentucky. It was banded in 2011 in Ontario, Canada. The spot it was banded at's about 50 miles east of Detroit, Michigan. So that duck came a pretty long way. I've killed another band 2 years ago from very close to there in Kamoka, Ontario. But it was a pretty slow year. We started out really slow. The normal spot I hunt on opening day is public land. We generally always do pretty good there, but we've been getting, I guess you could say, screwed the last few years with people setting up, 50 or 60 yards from us, and I just got tired of it. So, and that spot didn't have a lot of birds on opening day this year either. I'd scouted it pretty hard. So I did some scouting, and one of the farm ponds I had permission to hunt had about 15 mallards on it. So me and my friend Alex and my wife Crystal took our layout blinds out there and set up on opening morning. We had 2 mallards come in at first light. 5 shots later, we had both of those, and that was the last ducks we saw, the only ducks we saw. We killed both of them. And that was pretty much a metaphor for the rest of our season. The next 3 days of the first split, which was Thanksgiving Day, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we went to our normal spot after that and never fired a shot in 3 days. Probably saw 35 ducks maybe in 3 days. After that, the season went out, but the duck season went out. We had a split duck season this year, but our goose season stayed in, and I did a little bit of goose hunting, one of my farm ponds, mainly jump shooting. We killed 15 geese off of the one pond, which is pretty good. But, around here in central Kentucky, we've got a lot of resident geese, so they tend to be pretty stupid. After that, we took a trip to Ballard County to hunt the refuge on December 10th and 11th. The opening day on the refuge was the 9th, so we hunted the second day. And I think on opening day, they killed something like a .73 bird per hunter average, which is just horrible. And we drew, the first morning, the 10th, we drew 99A in Shelby Lake, which everything I've always heard, Shelby Lake's one of the better places on the refuge, so I had high hopes. We worked 1 duck and never fired a shot. And the 1 duck we worked was 5 minutes before shoot light. Nothing else even looked at us. So that was pretty dejecting, So we went out the next day, which was the 11th. We, let's see, drew 82A in Hill Ridge, which is right around the handicap blind, if you know where that's at. It's right on Oak Lake. The blind was actually on Oak Lake this year. You were actually hunting Oak Lake. I'd hunted it in the past, probably 2 or 3 years ago, and the blind was faced the opposite direction. Your back was to Oak Lake, and you were facing the road hunting flooded corn out in front of you that was obviously pumped water. But they had a low water situation there this year. About that time, they had monumental rains earlier in the year in May and June, so there was no forage on the refuge at all corn-wise, which really hindered. I mean, it was holding 56,000 ducks when we were there, but they were just stale, and we fought that till about January 5th or 6th. We had stale old birds. This was the worst season I'd ever had for working ducks. We might not kill but 2-3 a day, but every day we'd work 75, 80 ducks. But this year, nothing wanted to work at all. We had a good freeze up after we got back from Ballard, probably around Christmas sometime. We went to the big water, set up out there, And I think in 3 days we probably saw 30 ducks, which in a normal year with a big freeze up like that, you'll see anywhere from 500 to 5,000 ducks. And they weren't here this year. And I think it was due to the warm weather, and we had no significant snowpack north of us, which I believe that's what it takes to drive the birds down here. I'm not a believer in necessarily that if it freezes up, they'll be down here, because I've seen them too many times here hold up on a little pond. There'll be 500 of them in a hole the size of a car. So I don't necessarily think that freeze up drives them. I think it's a significant snowpack on the ground where they can't get any food is what drives them down here. But I just think we never had that this year. This is one of the warmest years that I can ever remember, except probably 2007 was very similar to this year. This year we had a very warm November and December and early January. I mean, it was the 5th before we even started seeing any new birds. And that's just what hindered us. The second week of January rolled around, and we finally started getting into them a little bit. Finally started getting into some groups of mallards. Did a little bit of hunting on the big lakes once everything froze up, and did really good. Killed several limits of mallards. One goose. Nothing really out of the ordinary species-wise this year. Killed a lot of mallards and a lot of gadwalls. Guess the most exotic thing we killed all year was a redhead, and we killed that 2 days ago on the 30th, Saturday. There was no concentration of divers on the big lakes at all like there normally is. I mean, I don't think we ever got the full big push, you know. I mean, it was just, I want to say it was pitiful, you know, but you sit here and you look at it. I killed 42 ducks and 7 geese. I hunted 43 days. It's a little over a 1 bird per day average. And, you know, for where I hunt at, that's not all that terrible. You know, you guys, you know, in Arkansas and Missouri and places like that, you know, you'll think, oh my God, that's terrible. You know, but come hunt where I hunt at, you know. And we just don't have the migrations that you guys have. We don't get the big pushes like you guys do, you know. Looking to book a snow goose hunt next spring, not this spring, but the spring of 2017. Looking to book a snow goose hunt in southeast Missouri, somewhere around Sykeston, Risco, or possibly even northeast Arkansas. Went with a guy, Doug Wynn, of, where is he from? He's from Benton, a little bit north of Murray. Hunted with him 3 years ago, and it was absolutely a horrendous experience. The people that came with us had horrendous dogs. They wouldn't shut up. They wouldn't stay, and the guide had nothing to say about it. Didn't make them stake them down or nothing. Doug called a lot of shots, 75, 80-yard shots, you know, when the birds were working. So I'm looking for a good, reasonable snow goose guide. Excuse me for a second. So, anyway, looking for a snow goose guide. Like I said, reasonable, you know. If you guys know anybody, please drop a link in the comments for me so I can check it out. Really wanting to go on a good snow goose hunt. So if you guys have any questions about waterfowl hunting, feel free to shoot me a direct message or leave a comment, you know, and I'm very prompt. I check YouTube all the time. If there's any other videos you want to see me do, you know, something maybe you don't know about or you want to know more about, just let me know and I'll do it. So this is a recap of the 2015-2016 Kentucky waterfowl season. So thanks for watching my video, guys.